Hi, how are you doing? Today I'm going to be presenting on my social media campaign that I've done. So, who am I presenting on? I'm going to be talking about the Discovery Center, which is, a nonprofit organization, space for, resident members, all community members to, connect more with nature. Definitely a huge part of, my nature um, like life and just it definitely does reflect its mission statement. It's in Strawberry Mansion, and it used to be like a reservoir, and now it's partnered with Audubon, and is known as like a bird uh, environmental center, but definitely has more to it than what it seems. And yeah, just hopping right into the problem or what's missing. And I would say more engaging posts. Um, their highlighted stories. They have two highlights on their Instagram page, and I think just more posts. More highlighted stories would benefit them really well, and them having more engaging posts, as in um, them connecting more with what they're doing day to day, or just like activities going on. And then I think with them being a um, there is like in relation to birding, I think more bird posts would like suit them well. I see a couple of things where they have uh, bats bat posts, or just general bird information, but I think like leaning more into they're just making posts centered around birds, can really complement them well. Um, and then here's an example of an environmental center um, that I, really like with just, the graphics and all. Um, a couple of pinned posts that have, upcoming events like the Zen making workshop. I really like that, graphic. And, that's one thing I think the Discovery Center is missing, or, it's a problem. They don't really use as much, graphics, but I'll talk about that later on. Why does it matter at all? Like, why does the problems matter? I think if people are coming to the center because of their relation with Audubon, um, they need to have something there like a placeholder, um, like more event like programming geared towards birding, um, because then you want to attract that like constituent that is coming over there for that. um, I think there's a lot of outside programming that's being done that isn't featured on the Instagram page, and just from like word of mouth, I hear about the program that they're doing, but I don't see a lot of it being put onto the page. Um, what should be revised? What's the solution to this? I think tap more into the graphics. I think they have a really strong graphic design um, person. Whoever's making it. It's like uh, just looking out on their page is just a sprinkle of graphics here and there, but I think definitely tapping back into it. I think more daily birding programs are posts about it. Um, Whether it be like learning just like general knowledge on birds in the area, like an intro to birding, like bird walk, something like that, to get people more engaged about the Audubon side of it. And then they probably do this, but just more advertising leading up to a program, I think will help. They do repost some posts on their Instagram about upcoming events, but I think just being more on top of that. And then just like going back to the comparison with the other environmental center, I think this graphic works really well for like a past event they had with the trick or treat. Um, and yeah, I really think tapping back into the graphics, embracing it, and yeah, uploading it more on their page. This my proposal would be, spotlight the center, that, elevate, the work that they've been doing, on site and off site, um, in schools, rec centers and all. Um, and, just make more of a statement with, graphics. I think it definitely does tell a really well story. um, Consistently, promo events. I think it could definitely keep people posted, and um, it could, remind people if they forgot about, upcoming events. Um, and yeah, it definitely builds curiosity and that connection that Instagram needs, especially in the environmental field. Um, and it definitely can be seen as more active, and it's definitely a big part in getting the community members to, come down and all. Some pros and cons that I've learned during, this process. Some of the pros, um, you know, great photos of events taking place, just with um, going through their Instagram page. I really liked, there was this one post, a game day post that they did, and you can really see just the people, all the people that had came, and um, yeah. Also, I mean, it ties into timely post. They got it on time. I was personally there and really enjoyed it, and just seeing, me, myself, and others that came, was really good, um, and yeah, I mean, like I said, whoever's on the graphics team is doing a great job. Shout out to them. Keep. I think they should present that more. Some cons would be, um, there's not a lot of, engagement with commenting on posts. I see like either one to three at least. I don't know. There's not really any commenting going on, and that could mean a bunch of things. But I think if they got that up, some more engagement in the comment section, that will really attract, or just keep people, coming back and engaged in X, Y, and Z. And then yeah, I like I said, not enough story highlights. Which were good. I really like the highlighted post they have like under their bio, because it shows, or just like more video in the highlighted section, um, is, engaging. You can go back and see, watch it, and get like really be in tune with, what the center is, what's going on, and yeah, get get more information, and then promotion of resources. They have a really great native C library, um, and just things that you can get in, like get and learn about at the center that they're not really promoting on their Instagram page. And I think if they did, a lot of more people were already, being to know, instead of, um, not knowing what resources that are available, um, coming into the center. I think, just having like a post, one or two, recent posts about, just program going on in outside of the center, inside the center, uh, like binocular usage, the native sea library, in which you can, take seeds with you back home. I think people would love that a lot. And then this is an example of, people engaged at the center that I really like. Is a pro to me. You see the people really engaged with. I think this is weather variable in nature. I thought this was water testing, but it may not be. It's like another program they've, been doing. But yeah, as you can see, is a great picture. It shows, the setup, program that they're doing, detail, con. You have some examples of, no commenting, um, although, and no repost. That's the thing where, there's not a lot of engagement in those two categories. Some more steps would be, again, more, graphics. I would say more making them graphics, posting them. uh, more interactive posts for followers to get those comments up, um, and just building up that base, promoting day to day usage at the center, where resources are available, like binoculars, meeting spaces, and again the native seed garden, um, and then yeah, definitely include work outside of the center that relates to the center. I think it'll definitely help people appreciate uh, what's been going on in the works so far. And for that, I'm done with my presentation. Thank you.